All right, back again. We're going to discuss this cartridge box. We're going to do an in-depth review. It says cartridge box. It is from the Sketchbook 76. You can see it right here. Number one, this is like straight up beginner stuff. So razor blade, that's good. I like to use a Japanese skiving knife. This is a tool that I think everyone should own. They're expensive. You might be able to find cheaper ones, but this is a good start. You'll need a scratch awl for marking. I also enjoy a French curve. French curves, this is a pretty cheap one. You'll need something to punch holes with. It's just a two-pronger. And some kind of wooden mallet will work. Don't really try to use metal hammers. They'll dent everything up. They hit too hard. And you'll need a pair of dividers. I got these off Amazon. They're pretty cheap. And you'll need a steel ruler. When you're working with leather, it's good to have a steel ruler. Sometimes they have the ones with the cork on the back. I don't know where mine is right now, but I would show you. But any kind of steel ruler will work well. So obviously, you could see here, I just used a piece of construction paper. During drawing it out, I used the French curve. You could see how I use it. You put it on, and you might have to do a little bit of fiddling, but you could see how the curve, how you draw it in. See? It kind of fits on like that, or like that, and this helps you draw on the paper. You'll need two of these, which is this right here. You can see the numbers, 11 1/8, 4 inches down, 4.5 inches down, and then there. So you need two of these. The welt. Which is just a piece of leather like this. This isn't it, but you can see from here, it's this piece. Yes, you'll need to buy this book. Then the top flap. Obviously this. It's 9.5 here, 8 3/4 down, and 10 inches from point to point, here to here. Now, in drawing out your pattern, sometimes I like to use manila envelopes. I feel like they're a little bit thicker. I enjoy using them. I just thought about this. You could also use old soda can boxes. This actually works pretty good as well. I've used these a few times to get things going. Okay, now we're going to discuss a little bit about leather itself. Okay, there's different levels or weights of leather depending on the country you live in. I live in the United States, so obviously I'm going to discuss what I can get. I buy my leather at Tandy because it's convenient for me. Can you buy leather other places? Of course. But I'm using the economy grade from Tandy Leather. That's what we're using. So, this is about maybe it's about 2 ounces, 3 ounces. This would be maybe a 5-6 ounce. Again, so there's different level. Sometimes they will describe to you in the book on what they're using. I'm probably going to use for the flap itself this piece. I'm going to use maybe a 5 to 6 ounce economy grade leather. And then I'll probably use maybe a 3-4 ounce leather for the body. And for the pieces, the button and the clasp I'll probably also use, depending if whatever scraps I have laying around. So you're going to definitely need some leather. If you could only afford like one sheet of leather or how much, I would just say get the 5-6 ounce leather for economy grade, and you could skive it down or do whatever. It'll still be functional. So there. Now I'm going to discuss making the dye. All right. So this is vinegaroon. They have tons of names for it. Iron dye. But what I did, this is it. You get yourself an old jar. Doesn't have to be fancy. You can see the corrosion at the top. You get it. You can use old spaghetti jar, whatever kind of jar. You got to punch holes in it because it needs to breathe. Obviously, this is old, so that. And you see the color and the consistency. So that's what it kind of looks like when you're done. Take some rusty nails, old pieces of iron. I throw in steel wool. Just go to the store, get yourself some steel wool. Hell, I would say even use old steel wool and just throw it in there. And then apply it. I'm going to show you how to apply it right now. I like to dye before I cut. Now you see this. These are makeup brushes. Now if you're married, don't use the good ones your wife has. You go, or if you're not, or whatever, you could always grab like these at like the dollar store. It's like a makeup brush. They're soft. I like to use them. I feel like some people like to use the wool daubers. I actually think these are a lot better. They last a lot longer. You could clean them out. Especially like old cheapo ones. You get these like dirt cheap. Don't use a lot. You only need to do a little bit at a time. Now about this dye or this stain, because it's an acid, like say you put it in there, it takes a couple days for it to cure and work. So you take your steel wool, rusty old nails, whatever, throw it in a jar. Fill it full of white vinegar. White vinegar. Then you just close it up, punch holes in the top, and then mix it around, whatever. And it should, once it's this color, it's usually pretty good to go. Can you strain it? Yes. I generally don't. Here. Look at that. This came out nice. It's not as strong because it sat too long. Another trick to it, I didn't clean this piece. This piece has already been done. You could see. You could always add more. Take your clean cloth. Gives this bluish grayish color. Now, you could keep applying this. See, I like this. It's clean. It doesn't bleed through a lot. Only do a little bit at a time. Save yourself some time. Don't get upset. Just do that. Okay? So I think that gets you going in a good way. Okay. So now we are getting on to cutting. First thing you need to do, a little bit, I got my hideout right here, is I like to take a clean rag with clean water, and you want to wipe the hide down a little bit. Number one, it'll make it easier to cut, per se, but you'll clean off all the nonsense. We're going to do the whole thing in 3 to 4 ounce. That's going to be the cheapest way. And Since it's a beginner, 3 to 4 ounce leather is generally cheaper. Go with the economy grade. It's pretty cheap. Get a side or a full hide. I know, yeah, it'll be pricey, but nothing's cheap. Nothing's cheap no more. I'm your uncle. It's uncle time. So, I don't give all the materials I use or everything right at once. So there's no like, in the beginning, you need this, this, and this. I don't do that. I'm going to give it piecemeal when I remember it due to brain damage. So we're going to enjoy ourselves. We're going to clean this. Look at this. Beautiful. It's getting all clean. Because sometimes with the dyes, or whatever you want to do, you're going to use alcohol dye, Febblings, whatever you're going to use. You still want it like wiped down a little bit. And it flattens it out. Now, when I use my weights, I'm going to warn people that metal will stain leather. You could even dye it if you leave it outside. You wet a little bit, put it out in the hot sun. But that's not right now. Here's your paper pattern. You could use different paper patterns if you want, but this is it. We're going to need 2 of these guys right here. 2. So. Yeah, sorry for the lull, but I got these guys right here. There's just some weights. They'll help this stick down. Move the water so I don't trip on it. Now I got this out. I got my little marker. Now, should I start cutting it here? Probably not, because that is not a great spot. You're trying to conserve your leather. But, I know, not enough room there. Yeah. Okay, so I got my piece of paper right here. Oh, but I got a lot of hide to work with. What's going to be easier? Accepting that I'm going to get a little bit of waste, or struggling? Here's the thing. I'm going to put this down. Okay, you got your marking tool. Hope you guys can see this. But you take your scratch awl, which you could buy. These are cheap. Get one. And you got it. Boom. See, when it's wet, why did I wet the leather? Why did I wet the leather? Is because it makes it easier to mark. And it also makes it easier to cut. All right, look at that. Perfect. Very enjoyable. It's like when you're a kid, spending time with your uncle. Boom. Now, you can see, you probably can't see it because of the camera, but because I find this way unmanageable, this is where your metal ruler comes in place. Pop that out. Make your life easier. Make the project go. You don't have to go directly on the line, but I might. Now I have all the leather right here. Slow. Try not to cut. You don't Jam the knife in. Slowly. You might have to take more than one pass. Don't. I know how I do this. I always throw a fresh blade. Razor blades are not expensive. Yes, you're going to have to buy a few. You test it. Oh, don't do this on your kitchen table for your mother, your wife, husband, whoever to get upset with you. This is not a hobby where we want people upset with us. Don't do it. See how I got cardboard down? Use that. All right. Now that the hide's out of the way, we got the first piece. Ready to go-ish. All right. Now we throw this back on. Oh. Get the water back. See, it was a little rough because I didn't put enough water down. All right. Line the pattern back up. See how much more manageable it is? Because I'm not moving around an entire hide. Yeah, you're going to get waste this way. You have to accept that there's going to be some waste. I mean, I'm very careful, but when you buy a whole hide, there's going to be a lot of waste. All right. All right, this is what we're doing. We're redrawing this. All right, look at this. All right, we got it. We got it. We're doing fantastic. You push down real hard with this. See how I'm struggling right there? You know what that means? It's time for a new blade. This is no good no more. But I'm going to use it one last time. I should have brought this over to the other bench, but we're just doing this right here since I'm already set up. Oh, look at that. Slowly. 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 Look at that. Perfect. Nice. Okay, that concludes part 1 of the Sketchbook 76 cartridge box.